Hello, my name is Julius Knapp, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Dirigible Systems. My business partner, Christopher Nallo, and I actually started this company a few years ago to address a problem I was having at work. At the time, I was doing software application installs for a number of different clients. Sometimes it would be just a few instances of one application, but more and more it was becoming hundreds of instances of the same application. Now, to keep the install size small, a lot of times developers will use services in the cloud to store data and do some processing. And this works fine when you have just a few instances, but once you start to have hundreds of instances of the same application, making requests to the cloud, things really start to slow down, and the cloud pretty quickly becomes overwhelmed. Now, as it happens, at the time, I was also in a graduate degree program at UMUC, now UMGC, studying IT systems engineering. And I came across the concept of fog computing and almost immediately recognized it as a solution to this problem. The idea is, instead of putting all your services into one monolithic cloud that you set up in some far off location, you set up just a bunch of smaller systems closer to where the applications are generating the data. It's like the cloud, but closer to the ground. With the fog, you get better performance, you even get more security, and you get some new capabilities that are really difficult to achieve otherwise. Chris, who was and is still my neighbor and friend, he and I talked at length about the possibilities of this new paradigm. And we decided to team up and try to make this a reality. Why not choose Westminster, really? Westminster provides a lot of advantages. First and foremost, for me, it's my hometown. Most of my career, I found jobs in the Baltimore-Washington corridor, and it's about an hour drive, sometimes more, each way, every day. And I know a lot of people around here that do the exact same thing. And that kind of brings me to my second main point. Westminster has a lot of talented people who are stuck in traffic just like me, with a lot more to offer the world than just making sure they don't hit the car in front of them. And with solutions like fog computing, Westminster could really stand to capitalize on some of this untapped potential and see an explosion in innovation. Even in the absence of all that, though, Westminster is already moving in the right direction. The city partnered with Ting a few years ago to bring high-speed and low-latency fiber internet to the city. Magic has an office in Westminster to support entrepreneurship, and there's a really good mix of industries, from healthcare and education to manufacturing and distribution. So as first-time entrepreneurs on a shoestring budget, both with wife and kids at home, I'd say the greatest challenge has just been finding the time to get the message out and keep the business growing. Both my business partner and I have day jobs to support ourselves right now. But even after a long day of developing, our evenings are spent developing our own applications, or building on our own fog instance, or working on our business strategy. Fortunately, we have, both have tremendous support groups to keep us going and to tell us when we need to stop and take a break. So, so I usually think of myself as the worst person to give advice, but to anyone else looking to start their own business, I would say find people that you can lean on when you're really stuck and you have no idea what to do next. The thing is, stuff comes up all the time, and it's really difficult to know when you need to put stuff down and pivot. Also, I'd say, keep an eye out for opportunities. There's always ways you can get yourself started, even in the COVID era. It may not be as easy right now, but you can definitely get yourself set up for long-term success. And lastly, I'd say, keep an eye on Westminster. This community is really as strong as ever, and great things are still to come.